Hey, hi, it's me. I've returned from the grave. No, I haven't. I have not died. I'm not dead. That's what I'm trying to say. Hello, welcome back to my channel. So again, we are reading Butterfly Region, the word, yes, by SilentTeyz. We are on chapter 3. It's shallow. That's fun. That's a fun word. I like that word. I'm being a weirdo. Woo! Attention spans! Alright. It has been over a week since Ronbu first arrived at the palace, and Tom isn't doing really what? What? That just... Okay. Grammar. Great. Tommy isn't doing really well in terms of befriending him. Tommy is the pinnacle of kindness whenever they encounter each other by accident, but that's about it. Ronbu had tried to make a conversation with him one time. Tommy listened to him stutter and apologize after almost every word for about 5 minutes before he got tired and left in a hurry under the excuse that he had to file some paperwork. That sounds fun. Okay. He isn't sure what annoys him more. The aura of awkwardness that turns every conversation with Ronbu into a torture? That's not grammar. Why is there an A? Into torture. Or his terrible lack of respect and manners. Tommy had to... Okay, it is recording. Tommy had to correct him a few more times before he stopped using first names. Him and the section, and showed him the section in the library where they had the books on etiquette. This had, unexpectedly, brought a whole new problem. Ronbu doesn't know how to read. The literacy rates in the Arctic Empire were not nearly close to 100%, and advanced academies were only affordable for children of wealthy merchants or with sponsorship from a noble family. Father of the current emperor put an effort to make schools with basic education available both in cities and larger villages. But it was clearly not the case for whatever wrenched hole Ronbu had crawled out of. That's rude. I thought I heard a cat. Tommy tells this to the Emperor during one of the meetings, without the whole crawling part, of course. Yeah, you'll get yelled at for that. That's disrespectful. He half expects that he'll be tasked with finding the boy teacher, and feels almost happy it never happens, and goes on with the reports. Once they are done, the Emperor dismissed him for the day. He does what he hasn't done in literal years. He lingers nervously, cramming a handkerchief into his fist. Boo! I'm bad at English. Boo! ADHD! It's dyslexia. Why am I reading this? I'm working it out. Do you have anything else to say, Theseus? The Emperor asks. Tommy straightens and forces himself to look into the man's eyes. Recently, I took interest in learning Enda, and I'm having some troubles with the phonetics. Is that the word? Yeah, it's that. I know very few people, even in the palace, who are fluent in speaking the language, so I thought that you could perhaps assist me. It feels as if the world stops as Tommy waits for an answer. And my cats are being jerks. I am not dealing with this right now. You probably can't even hear them, it's fine. It crashes on him full force when the Emperor throws so bad at English. Google. Oh. This word. Incredulous. Yay, English. Woo. It feels as though the world stops as Tommy waits for an answer, and it crashes on him full force when the Emperor throws him in incredulous. Well, I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Look, it hurts. Tommy knows that he has no one but himself to blame. His request was ridiculous and selfish and over-demanding, and he still went forward with it. I'm afraid I won't be able to make any room for a break in my schedule, the Emperor says. Tommy is already backing away. Mentally. And the only other thing that's left was to get the doors and rush away. Of course, Your Majesty. He all but mutters. I shouldn't have asked. Less than an hour later, Tommy finds himself passing near Ronbu's room. He wouldn't have stopped if there wasn't a voice coming from inside, one that he recognizes as the Emperor's. And if the doors weren't left open, just wide enough for somebody to peek in. It brings back memories of the times when 5-year-old Tommy would come to his brother for his father, would come to bother his father, standing behind heavy wooden doors. He never knew who he would find inside. Dad, who will greet him with a happy exclamation. Pick him up and press a kiss to his forehead, or Emperor Filza, who would only rub a thumb between the creased eyebrows and ask a governess to take the young prince away. Last time Tommy had seen his dad, he was 11 years old, and his mother was still alive. Where he didn't expect to meet him again would be next to Ronbu, sitting behind a desk as the boy hunters over with a quill in hand. What Ronbu writes on a piece of paper looks more like scribbled characters from one's fuzzy nightmare than actual words. For the first time, you're doing great. the Emperor says. You think so? Ronbu perks up. I still don't know how to write my own name, though. Here, let me help you. The Emperor puts a hand over Ronbu's and carefully guides it over the paper. Tommy watches, his fingers clenching into a fist. To the point, his knuckles appear white. The tight fist. He can't bring himself to look away, even though he knows that it would only take one stray glance for the Emperor to notice two blue eyes watching them through a narrow slit. It's not that narrow if you can see both eyes. Then you can practically see the whole face. It's not narrow. Okay. Ronbu stares at the piece of paper in amazement, like his name scribbled in toddler-like handwriting is something akin to a miracle. The Emperor looks both amused and proud. I almost forgot that I have a present for you. He produces a notebook out of his pocket, or perhaps it's a diary, covered in English. Embossed leather with a wide strap across, keeping it shut, so you could write down your memories, the Emperor explains. Tommy could buy himself 1,000 diaries like this and cover them in liquid gold. Yet he still bites his lip so hard that he tastes blood. Deep down, he knows that. Oh, sorry, my friend just texted me that they were broke. Deep down, he knows that it's not the gift itself that makes anger bubble in his veins. It's the fact that the Emperor had cared enough to pick and bring it for Ronbu. On the surface, however, he just wants that book to light on fire. Preferably still in Ronbu's hands. Woo! Arson! Sounds fun. His steps are quiet as he retreats, but the door creaks when he lets go of the handle. Tommy wonders how different his expression must look from his usual stoic frown that makes maid passing by jump out of his way with wide eyes. Inside the room, Ronbu looks up, words of gratitude dying on his tongue. What he thinks he sees is a flash of something gold behind the door. Did you hear that? That's not the voice I was. I don't care anymore. Woo. Yay. When the Emperor stands up and peeks into the corridor, it is already empty. Save for a confused-looking maid dipping her head in a bow. Must have been your imagination, the Emperor says. Oh, people keep texting me. There we are. We don't have that much left. In a gap in the Crown Prince's schedule for today, he and Tubbo found a brief moment to relax in the deep part of the gardens. Tommy will probably regret it later, when his dirt-covered pants will learn weird glances from the ministers. But for now, he flops down on the grass and stares into the afternoon sky. Puffy white clouds drag lazily across the bright blue void. Ooh, void. Sounds fun. I want a void. You can put a lot of stuff in a void. They reach the horizon and disappear over the mountain peaks, traveling far, far south, where the ocean waves crash with gravelled shores. Ooh, gravel. Is that for Malcolm? We're gonna feed Malcolm gravel? We should give him all the gravel because, I don't know, he exists. That's why he gets gravel, because no one else wants gravel. I don't know, he finds it yummy. Just give him the gravel. Give the man his gravel. Between Tubbo humming a simple melody. No. And the wind quietly playing with the leaves on the trees. It's a perfect balance between silence and noise to make thoughts flow in Tommy's mind. The last few days were full of meetings and preparations for the arrival of foreign guests, and perhaps it's the reason why he's more stressed and less in control of his tongue. Tubbo? Yes, Your Highness? That's not the voice I was doing either! Oh my god, I'm bad at voices. You know that I don't see my father a lot, and usually it's completely fine. He has much more important matters to take care of, but is it wrong that I feel upset because Emperor finds time to spend with Ronbu and not me? Tubbo falls silent. Tommy doesn't realize how long it's been since he voiced any of his emotions out loud, until he turns his head and sees the lost expression on his friend's face. Perhaps you could try and talk to His Majesty about it. Tubbo answers after a painfully long pause. How long was the pause? Like 5 minutes? That's long. That's long for a pause. How long was it the span of an ad break? Ad break, go get extended warranty on your car. Woo. Grass tickles Tommy's cheek. He looks away again, feeling a knot tighten in his chest. Woo! Knots. I like knots. I like, figure 8 knots best because it's fun to say the one chant where, like, you choke a dude and then you poke him in an eyeball. It's fun. It's a fun thing. Fun. Yay! Tommy should have expected such an answer from someone who is in good relationship with his father. Father. Not once or twice did he hear Tubbo talk about Captain Sparkles with chest-puffing pride. As a child, Tommy used to sneak into barracks? Is that what that says? Barracks a lot. He had seen Tubbo a few times without actually Why are there so many fancy words? What the heck is that? Why wasn't taught that in English class? Ever. Not any of the grades I went to English class in, which was all of them. Into a conversation. Truth to be told, the curious, nimble prince, not the crown prince yet, nor he'd be until he turns 11, sneaked into a lot of places. Like that one time he was supposed to wait for Techno for their horse riding lessons, and instead he tiptoed behind the stableman's back, and he pulled himself on the back of the first saddled stallion he found. It didn't go well. Tommy had a fair chance of falling off and breaking his neck. Tubbo appeared seemingly out of nowhere, a tiny boy with a determined frown, jumping up to the rearing horse. And grabbing the reins. He held it off until it calmed down. Tommy, shaking like a rattling snake, was about to get down. "Are you dumb?" Tubbo had asked him as soon as his feet touched the ground. "Uh-huh. Yeah. That's not... No, that means yes." Uh-uh. Tommy shook his head. "You're supposed to say, 'Are you dumb, Your Highness?'" Tubbo glared at him. "You're insane. And you're fucking cool." And you're fucking cool. Tommy grinned back. "I think we should be friends." The boy didn't get to answer then. The adults arrived, and Tommy got a reprimand of a lifetime from his family. "Well, obviously you jumped on a random horse and could have broke your neck and died." What they didn't know is that Tubbo is extremely skilled in climbing balconies. "Tubbo, don't climb up balconies!" In the days the prince was supposed to spend locked up in his room, repenting about his irresponsible behavior, the newfound best friends played table games and giggled over obscene pictures they drew on the floor under Tommy's bed. Why would you draw on the floor? That's bad. No, it's a mess. Now you gotta mop. And mopping isn't fun. One night, the two were sitting in a dark room, the flickering light of a single candle. Why one candle? There should be more than one. Better lighting. But then again, it was night. So, I understand only having one candle. Yeah, I understand that. Picking out the stone serious faces and the glint of a silver dagger. Scared. What are they doing? Tommy pressed the sharp blade to his palm. Through a hiss of pain. "Brothers by soul," Tommy said. He passed the dagger to Tubbo, and once he copied his action, they clenched their bleeding hands together tightly. "Brothers by blood," Tubbo echoed. The heck? Is that like a ritual or something? I'm scared. If there was a person who was affected the most when Theseus was announced crown prince, it would be Tubbo. He could have followed in his father's footsteps and gone through extensive training to become a royal guard, but instead, he chose to stay by his friend's side. Friendship! It was only months later that Tommy started to think that Tubbo might have regretted that decision. When the crown prince asked Tubbo to be chamberlain once he becomes an emperor, the boy looked away and said he'd have to think about it. Like the previous, the steady growth beneath Tommy started to crumble. He didn't press the topic for the fear that a single crack could turn into a ravine. "Oh no! Dying friendship!" Something green flashes in front of Tommy's eyes, snapping him out of his memories. Tubbo, what the heck? Why are you in front of him? Did you just run past him, or what is going on? A feather slowly descends to his nose, making him sneeze and shoot up into a sitting position. Oh, wait, it's a bird. It says, oh, it's a bird! A bird perches on a tree nearby. From the tip of it, I thought it was Tubbo putting a feather in its face. Gotta remember, they're still children. Oh my. No, it's a bird. Okay, that makes sense. The Tubbo thing is funnier, though. From the tip of its tail to the curved beak, it's almost Tommy's arm's length. How long are your arms? How small is that bird? How long is that bird? It's a big bird. Huh? The color of the feathers, otherwise as green as the grass between the prince's fingers, is white along the primaries and down from its neck to its belly. Like my cats! My cats have their fur like that, except not with green, just the white part. The crown prince stands up and approaches. He extends his hand toward the bird carefully. Instead of biting or scratching, it closes off a short distance between them and ups over into Tommy's arm. They come face to beak, sapphire blue eyes to emerald green. Tubbo, do you know what bird this is? Why is that the voice it chose? Looks like a parrot to me. Parrot. The Arctic Empire, even towards its southern borders, is too cold for a bird, obviously belonging to warm climate. He has to be some noble's pet then. The bird recoils and puffs up its neck feather. It lets out a squawk that sounds similar to a person yelping out. And? Did they forget the D? And offended. Yelping out and offended. What? 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 That. Tommy's lips tug into a smile against his will. Are you saying I'm wrong? His finger gets bitten. More like nibbled, really. Thus, the bird's sharp beak doesn't put enough pressure on his skin for it to break or really hurt. Okay, point taken. You're a big bird and not a pet. Tommy taps on its beak. The bird lets him go. The look of surprise in its face is so vivid, Tommy can't help but laugh. Genuinely, unlike the withdrawn, I can't pronounce that word. Chuckles that he politely responds to with the foreign minister's poor attempt at joking. The bird bumps its head against its arm in response with a soft coo. It seems to be taking a liking to you, Your Highness, Tubbo points out. And then he comes closer. Look, there's a note. He sees a piece of paper tied up to the bird's leg. He takes it off carefully under its curious gaze. I am a guest from aboard who will soon arrive for the summer solstice celebrations, and I write this note while drunk. Tobo, peeking from behind Tommy's shoulder, snorts, and at the same time as he does. For a drunk person, the handwriting is quite neat. Half the documents in our archives would be unreadable if one of the Emperor's secretaries couldn't sign them while he's drunk. I swear, I never see that man without a bottle in hand. Tobo giggles. The bird shakes a bit, letting out a gurgled sound akin to a chuckle. You should write a reply, Tobo exclaims. Oh, you think so? Tommy asks, already knowing that he will. In the span of the last week, a lot of unusual things have happened to him. But this is the first positive and truly intriguing one. Tobo presses a quill and a sealed bottle of ink to his hand. The bird moves up, and Tommy's arm, and careful of its claws, sits down on his shoulder. There is a lantern with a flat top sticking out of the grass nearby. After the sunset, a servant comes to light the candle inside, but for now, it makes an acceptable surface to write on. What did I just press? Tell it to go away. What did I do? Go away. I solved the problem. Your bird has safely found its way to me. I shall be relieved if it returns safely, for that it means that it is cleverer than its drunk owner. Well, I mean, if the owner's drunk, then... Oh, this is long. We have a while. Ooh, I'm gonna end it here. Bye, my little stars.